You guys, it sounds juicy and it sounds good, but it's not. Hey friends, welcome back to my corner of the internet where we talk all things thrillers, mysteries, and suspense. My name's Kayla and I'm so excited to have you here. So, today I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of books that I didn't necessarily enjoy, but you might, you never know. We all like different things and I don't want to just not talk about these books because I didn't like them, So, let's see if you can find a new favorites. Just because I don't like the book doesn't mean you won't, You know what I'm saying? So let's see if you agree with me or if you found a new favorite. Okay, so I got a bone to pick with you guys because why didn't anyone tell me that if you had Amazon Prime that you can read books for free? Well, not necessarily for free, but there's so many books on here. I'm always on Amazon, and maybe I realized I had Prime back in the day, like Prime Reading back in the day when I was like 20. But y'all, look at all these books that are on here. Like Never Lie. Oof. Well, not that. We don't care about this. We do not care. But look, let me just do the camera properly. Y'all, Never Lie, Ask for Andrea, The Perfect Marriage, Pretty Girls. I'm about to download this one right now. I've had this in my Amazon wish list. Not wish list. What is that thing called? Your cart. For the longest, you guys, because I watch Haley Hughes on YouTube, and she just she loves this book. So I definitely want to try this one out. Y'all, I just bought this one the other day. I am so mad. All of these free. So if you were like me and did not know about this or did not remember this, y'all go ahead and go. If you have Prime, go and check this out because there are a ton of books on there. You got Big Frida on here. You know, Geneva Rose, even though that wasn't my favorite book, but a lot of people like that book. So definitely go and check that out and see what books you can download. I don't have a Kindle. I used to way back when, but I'm gonna just start reading these books on my iPad. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first book I want to talk about is Such a Quiet Place by Megan Miranda. You guys, this cover is so beautiful. I love everything about this cover. So we're starting with the positives first. Love this cover. Don't like this book. I did not like this book at all. I think I gave it 3.5 and I think I was being generous at that point. It's really a 3-star book in my opinion. But there are so many cute little details. Like the illustrations are just so cute in this book. And I live for a book with illustrations. I sound like a child. But look. They give you a map of everyone's house. They put effort into this book, and this cover is just so beautiful. Okay, so Such a Quiet Place is about Hollow's Edge, your typical suburban neighborhood where not much goes on, but everyone is neighborly. But one day they find one of their neighbors dead, or two of their neighbors dead, Brandon and Fiona. And now everyone is trying to figure out who could have killed Brandon and Fiona. But one day they're all going through their Ring door cameras and they see one of their neighbors, Ruby, is running from Brandon and Fiona's home. So everyone has just decided that Ruby killed these people. They called the police on Ruby, and Ruby is basically their only suspect. So this book is about Harper and Ruby. Harper and Ruby live right next door to Brandon and Fiona. And Ruby lives with Harper. So Harper's like, oh my gosh, did my roommate kill these next door neighbors? So she doesn't know what to believe, but ultimately Ruby goes to prison for Brandon and Fiona's murder. But a couple of months later, Ruby's conviction is unturned. And now Ruby is coming right back to Hollow's Edge with all those people who threw her in jail because they just assumed that she killed the neighbors. So now Ruby's coming back to clear her name and to find out who really killed Brandon and Fiona. And to clear her name because she swears she did not kill those people and everyone thinks she did. This book was so boring. This book was so boring. I thought just reading the synopsis, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a great book. Y'all, 100 pages in. And I'm just like, what happened? What is going on? Then finally, 100 pages, 150 pages in, something happens. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it made me mad because to me, it really didn't make any sense. But then we just continued on with the book. And I was like, it took me a long time to finish reading this book. It was boring. The ending was just blah. It kind of just It was just very boring. People say Megan Miranda's a slow burn kind of girl, but this was not a slow burn. This was just boring, straight up boring. So, yeah, I don't suggest this book, but again, some people may love slow burns and may not find this boring, and you may actually really enjoy it. So, you definitely need to try it out. And I just want to preface it by saying I am not an author. I've never written a book. I don't know what it is like to write a book. I wanted to be an English major, but I knew I wasn't going to do anything with that. Personally, I wasn't going to do anything with that. And I have always had aspirations of becoming an author one day, but I have not written a book yet. So I am not dogging anybody for their work. I'm just a consumer. I read the book. I didn't really like it. I'm not saying her writing skills are terrible. It's just her writing style was just not for me in this book. So the next book that I didn't really enjoy, but it was all right, that type of book, it was The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. And you guys, I don't necessarily like when people say books are thrillers when they're not. Or if they have a little ounce of suspense, they call it a thriller. And I'm like, this was not a bad book. Let me start off by saying that. This was not a bad book. I just feel bamboozled when people say it's a thriller book and I'm waiting to be thrilled. This was just like a contemporary fiction type of book. So let me give you the synopsis. Meg Williams, Maggie Littleton, Melody Wild. Different names for the same person depending on the town and depending on the job. She's a con artist who erases herself to become whoever you need her to be. A college student, a life coach, a real estate agent, but nothing about her is real. She slides alongside you and tells you exactly what you want to hear, and by the time she's done, you've likely lost everything. Kat Roberts has been waiting 10 years for the woman who upended her life to return, and now that she has, Kat is determined to be the one to expose her. But as the two women grow closer, Kat's long-held assumptions begin to crumble, leaving Kat to wonder who Meg's true target is. Then it says, The Lies I Tell is a twisted domestic thriller that dives deep into the motivations of two women and their unwavering quest to seek justice for the past and rewrite the future. I'm going to start off by saying I am not the biggest fan of con artist tropes or like just con artists. I don't know. And now I bought The First Light Wins. That was another book of the month pick. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to read a con artist book. But anyways, con artist style, I'm just not a fan of it. And honestly, this was just, like I said, a contemporary fiction book. Not that thrilling. It was a good storyline, but I'm still going to give this book like 3.75. I do love a good book where women are conning, like, get one over on men sometimes. Because it's like, y'all deserve it sometimes. But I do love a good story about, like, strong women. But I don't know. This just... Ooh, I just gave myself a paper cut, you guys. If you've read this one, let me know. Did you find this thrilling and suspenseful? I just felt like I was just reading a story. Not a thrilling story, not a suspenseful story. I was just reading a book, y'all. My phone's going off. Yeah, I just felt like I was reading a book about two women, and one is conning other people, and the other one was conned. This one was conned by that one, and now she's waiting for this one to come back so this one can get revenge on that one. It was just... It was whack. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Y'all, so the next book I want to talk about is Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica or Kubica. She is the author of Local Woman Missing, and if you have not read that one, you definitely need to go read that one. I love that book real bad. So, Just the Nicest Couple is about two couples, and y'all, I read a comment on Goodreads, and the comment said they should rename this book to Just the Dumbest, stupidest couple ever. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But Just the Nicest Couple is about two couples. So you have Nina and Jake, and you have Lily and Christian. So Nina and Jake, the book starts off with them, and Nina and Jake ended up having this huge argument. So Nina ends up going to sleep, and she wakes up the next morning, and Jake, her husband, is gone. So she just assumes that her husband, is just blowing off some steam, and he's at work, and she'll talk to him later. 2 days go by, still hasn't heard from him. 5 days go by, she's like, all right, no, he's not that mad at me. Like, it wasn't that bad. So she begins to get the police involved, and she's like, I don't know where my husband is. He hasn't shown up to work. We had an argument. He's gone. I don't know where he is. So she's starting to get really worried. Now, we have Lily and Christian. So Nina and Lily are friends. They work at the same high school as teachers. So I'm getting all these names confused. So Lily and Christian. Lily thinks that she is the last person to see Jake before he goes missing. And now she's a little nervous because of the last time they saw each other, the last time she ran into Jake, you know, things didn't go very well. And now she hasn't told a soul. And now that Nina is confiding in her, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened to my husband. I don't know where he is. Lily's like, oh crap, like, I have to tell somebody. So she goes and tells her husband Christian what happened, and we don't really know what happened at that point. She's just like, okay, I need you to help me. Lily is pregnant. She's not wanting to go to jail for something that she thinks she may or may not have done. So her and Christian devise a plan, and they start lying. So Lily is lying to her best friend Nina about what happened to Nina's husband. So that is what's happening in this book. We are trying to figure out what happened to Nina's husband. Was Lily involved in what happened to Jake? And like, what's going on? What's really going on in this book? Yeah, that's the book. Not bad, but just not good. I mean, it's your domestic thriller book. Just wasn't the greatest. But again, some people really might like this because it is a cool story. I love a good multiple POV in a dual timeline. I love it. So you should check it out if you are a fan of Mary Kubica. It's very different from Local Woman Missing. But I mean, check it out if you want to. But out of all the books I've told you about so far, I would recommend Just the Nicest Couple out of all of these books. So that says something. Okay, so the last book that I want to talk about is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. Y'all, how? You know what? I think this book really pissed me off because I read it after I read The Lies I Tell. And I'm like, I'm reading two back-to-back thrillers that say they're thrillers, but it's not thrillering. Like, do y'all know what... I was going to say, do y'all know the definition of thriller? There was nothing suspenseful. There was a little mystery. Just tiniest hint of mystery in this book. And I'm just like, what? Again, this should have been another contemporary fiction. This could have been a little cute little drama show on ABC. I don't know. That's what I think. This book just did not give thriller. And again, not terrible writing. It wasn't just a bad book, but I don't like when I'm going into a thriller book and it's not thrillering. I don't like that. So let me read you the synopsis. Before Owen Michaels disappears, he smuggles a note to his beloved wife of 1 year. Protect her. Despite her confusion and fear, Hannah Hall knows to whom the note refers. Owen's 16-year-old daughter, Bailey, who lost her mother tragically as a child and wants nothing to do with her new stepmother. As Hannah's increasingly desperate calls to Owen go unanswered, as the FBI arrests Owen's boss, as a U.S. Marshal and federal agents arrive at her Sausalito home unannounced, Hannah quickly realizes her husband isn't whom he said he was. Bailey just may hold the key to figuring out Owen's true identity and why he really disappeared. You guys, it sounds juicy and it sounds good, but it's not. We're really just going along for a ride with Hannah and Bailey, going from California to Austin, Texas to figure out why her dad involved in some crazy things, who really is her father, who's Hannah's family, what happened to the mother. It sounds like a lot of mystery, but there's really nothing. The ending of this book really pissed me off. Really? This is how you're gonna end the book? And I get cliffhangers, but I'm just like, no. This book did absolutely nothing for me in the thriller genre. They even made a show. They made a show, I think, what's her name? Ben Affleck's ex-wife. Jennifer Gardner. Oh my gosh, I could not remember her name. So they made a show on Hulu. And the show's probably good. The show is probably better than the book. I'm just like, it did absolutely nada for me. So out of all the books that I said I really didn't enjoy, if I'm going to recommend one, it's going to be Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica. And then maybe The Lies I Tell. If you like a con artist, like revenge kind of plot, maybe that one. But Such a Quiet Place and The Last Thing He Told Me, I'm not going to recommend those. But if you want to read it, go ahead and read it on your own and let me know what you think. Have you guys read any of these books? Let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree? And if you disagree, why? What's tea, girl? Like, why did you like this book? Or guy? So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. It was short, quick, and easy because I don't really need to talk much about books that I don't like. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.